Hey everyone, just wanted to quickly talk about my journal entry that I wrote down today, and I'm just gonna get straight into it. Diving into curiosities is the most beautiful thing a human being could ever do for themselves. Finding themselves in a deep work session could be a euphoric moment for them. Becoming curious, then becoming obsessive to changing their own life is the most satisfying experience ever a human being could experience. Navigating through challenges, embarking on an everlasting journey fraught with uncertainty, and ultimately witnessing the splendid life they've crafted is truly remarkable. Anyone would experience serendipity when they have lost their own way in the midst of nothingness and stumbled upon a gold mine. Not only would they find their own efficient pathway they had been searching for, but they will also be grateful for the experiences for shaping them up into their highest self. I wrote that down because I've been reading this book called The Obstacle is the Way, and I'm pretty sure it's my third time reading it now. And the reason I'm revisiting it is because I forgot it. I've forgotten the lessons that I had, and I'm very, very grateful for picking it up again because I've been dealing with the obstacles left and right, and I've been having troubles trying to get through them, right? Get past them and tackling them. And that's why I revisited the book and I've been learning so much. I've been just trying to change my whole mindset. I've been trying to really improve my mental toughness when it comes to trying to understand how I'm trying to build my business. And of course, how I'm supposed to navigate my 20s. I think everyone in their 20s is lost. I think everyone in life is lost. They don't know exactly what's going to happen in the next moment. And that's why you have to focus on the present moment. And that's what I've been doing a lot lately. I think my mind has been wandering a lot recently, and I started to notice my mind wasn't in the present moment. I wasn't in the present moment, right? And I want to quickly just talk about a couple of notes that I wrote down. The power of perception can change how the obstacles appear, how to approach, view, and contextualize of an obstacle. And what we tell ourselves is means determines how daunting and trying it would be to overcome. It's your choice whether you want to put I in front of something. For example, I hate public speaking. I screwed up. I'm harmed by this. With the wrong perspective, we become consumed and overwhelmed with something actually quite small. So why subject ourselves to that? With perspective, we discover leverage we didn't know we had. Perspective has two definitions. So the first one is context, a sense of the larger picture of the world, not just what is immediately in front of us. Number two, framing, an individual's unique way of looking at the world, a way that interprets its events. So tell me this, whenever you're speaking to somebody, a friend, a family member, a cousin, whatever the case is, right, acquaintance, you name it, whenever you're trying to speak about your perception on a certain event or a situation or a scenario, whatever it is, right? Tell me how they don't really understand exactly what you're trying to describe, right? It's because the framing is completely different. They experienced different experiences. They went through different obstacles. So you got to understand that not everyone is going to understand your vision. Not everyone's going to understand what you're trying to convey. Remember that. So it's always nice to explore perspectives. It's always nice to hear people out. It's always nice to be able to understand other people's perspectives. Because at the end of the day, you can learn so much. I think the only way you could change is through experiencing things, by learning new information, or speaking to people in general, right? I think those are like the only three ways that you could change your life. Here's a quote. In life, our first job is this: to divide and distinguish things into two categories. Externals I cannot control, but the choices I make with regard to them, I do control. Where will I find good and bad? In me, in my choices. This is by a quote. This quote is by Epictetus. And here's one thing I want you to repeat. So remember this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. The courage is to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's pretty much it. Just write that down repeat it to yourself every single day. Our emotions, our judgments, our creativity, our attitude, our perspective, our dreams, our decisions, our determination to argue, to complain, or worse, to just give up. These are choices, choices that more often than not do nothing to get us across the finish line. When it comes to perception, this is a crucial distinction to make. The difference between the things that are in our power and the things that aren't. Focusing exclusively on what is in our power magnifies and enhances our power, but every ounce of energy distracted at things we can't actually influence is wasted, self indulgent, and self destructive. So, here's a small tip whenever you catch your mind wandering, make sure to understand that you can't let your mind get away from you. If you want to become present in the moment, you have to focus on improving that by just catching your mind. For example, if your mind's wandering around thinking about the emotions you're feeling, remember, you're in control of your mind. You're in control of what you do. You're in control of your thoughts. You're in control of that, right? So bring it back to the present moment and focus on what you truly need to focus on. Of course, we're all going to be overthinking here and there. We're all going to be overwhelmed. We're all going to experience these different kind of emotions, but it's all about figuring out how to deal with them. And the best way to deal with them is becoming present in the moment and to figure out exactly what the next steps are. And here's another great tip that I learned from the book so far. If you're facing an obstacle and you don't know exactly what to do, pretend that your friend's in the situation. Of course, whenever your friends are in certain situations, you could literally give advice anytime, right? But whenever you're in these tough situations, you clearly don't know what to do. You clearly don't know what the next steps are, right? So pretend your friend is in the same scenario and figure out exactly what you would tell him and then apply it to your own life. Anyways, that's pretty much all. I just wanted to talk about obstacles, talk about my journal entry, and just really showcase what I learned. I think so many people could benefit from this. Honestly, I truly recommend the book if you're facing obstacles and you don't know how to tackle them, you don't know how to overcome them, because this book will teach you so much. It improves your mindset, improves your perception. You learn so much to a point where, like, you could tackle anything, you could overcome anything. It's all about whether or not if you want to make a change in your life. Just remember to take it easy and everything will be fine.